Welcome back to Pentiment. It is the year 1525. We are rich and famous, and we're back in Tassing. So let's explore. The many-petaled cinquefoil. It grows so easily, some consider it a weed. Still, I think it has a certain charm. Cool. We did pet slow, but let's pet it some more. It's raining. Cats hate rain. It's a wonder it's out here. Well, we are on our way up to the Abbey. Or are we? We are also invited to some town meeting. Otto said so. And we wanted to meet the truckers, right? So there are many things to do. Let's look at the aqueduct. What a stunning collection of wildflowers. They all grow so plentifully in the meadow. Oh, it's not the aqueduct. Rabbit. Yeah, I think we should not go into the Abbey. Not yet. With Father Ganot's new restrictions, the townsfolk can't even gather sticks without a fee. What? It got even worse? That's horrible. See if the shrine is still there. Yep, it sure is. Cannot even look at it. Old Otto is dead, so he won't be at the waterfall no more. But the waterfall must flow down from the snowmelt in the mountains above the abbey. The old salt mine is still here? Yep. Oh, what is that? A little mouse? Two innocents. What? Oh. Huh. Does that refer to the note on the parchment? I know that we have been back there 7 years ago. I don't know how many episodes ago. But did we read that back then? Maybe, but then I didn't know what to think of it, right? And I didn't make the connection. Oh, they are not here. Yeah, I think it's squirrels. But the one down there must have been a tiny baby squirrel. Brother Voicelove uses thyme in almost all of the... Oh, we know that already. It's more thyme, yeah. Makes sense. Let's see if Father Thomas is here. Yes. Andreas, I'd heard you were back in Tassing. God bless you. God bless you, Father Thomas. It's good to see you again. Hopefully this visit will be less eventful than your last. Tassing has enough going on as it is. We have our bonfire for St. John's Eve tomorrow night. People get up to all sorts of mischief. The feast and celebration of St. John the Baptist, beginning at sunset on June 23rd, coincides with Midsummer's Day at the summer solstice. And then it is my job to hear their confessions in the days that follow. Not to mention the crumbling the peasants are making. That's just talk, brother. No need to scare our guests with such things. I'm sure if there's trouble, Master Mahler will be the first to stick his nose in it. It's easy enough for you to come and go. You don't have to live with the consequences. The people in town resented the abbey for Lucky Steinauer's death. It probably contributed to their current agitation. They blame the abbey for his death, when they should blame you, since you're the one who testified against him. It would have been better for everyone if you had simply allowed Brother Piero to die. What the? After all, he only had a few years left anyway. That's horrible to say. You're a buffoon and a coward who hides behind his habit. You just stare menacingly at him. Nothing to say for yourself? Friends, there's no need for such ire. I forgive me, Father Thomas. I let my passion get the better of me. Besides, that's not even why I came down here. I actually came to speak to you on the abbot's behalf, Andreas. Father Gernot would like to invite you to come to the library tomorrow morning if you're interested in purchasing some of our books. Oh, wonderful, fantastic. Wait, are things so bad the abbot has to sell off Kirsau's greatest treasures? The abbey needs the money more than it needs ink-stained parchment. No one values these books anymore, except perhaps you. The library is not quite ready yet, as it does not see much use. If you could come by tomorrow morning, Mother Illuminata can show you what's available. Mother Illuminata? Aha. Where is Mother Cecilia? Yes, since Mother Cecilia passed a few years ago. She wasn't that old, was she? How did she die? Peacefully, in her sleep. So, tomorrow morning? Let's not be too enthusiastic. All right, tell him to expect me. I'm sure he'll be overjoyed. And, Andreas, I apologize for my harsh words before. It was rushed. Brother Piero was a pious man and a skilled artist. We miss him. Uh-huh. Now that you want my money, you're nice. Oh, Father Thomas, do you have a moment to speak inside the church? Yes, I think so. Why? A private matter. Oh, of course. Until tomorrow. God bless you, Andreas. We can get into the church at some point? I would love to. We've never been in there. Okay, that's the path to the mill. Martin Bauer. The Truckers. That's where we want to go, right? Central Town. Town Commons. Yeah. Let's visit the Truckers. Oh! Magdalene! Oh. Andreas. He might be mad at us because of Steinauer. I don't want to bother you, but I was passing through. I'm sorry. Well, feel free to keep passing through. It's been 7 years, after all. First Bert, then Marie, just after Magdalene was born. What? No. They died? My wife always thought highly of you. I can't believe you didn't write back after I told you they had passed. We didn't? Yeah, you should have. I'm sorry, I should have written. Yes, you should have. Yeah, right, he's right. Too late for that now, though. Boo-boo! Oh, hello. She likes you. Your business seems to have grown. What are you printing? The 12 articles. They were originally written by Swabian peasants who were demanding changes from their lords. Ooh. Freedom from serfdom, freedom to hunt and use the woods as God intended, freedom from compulsory labor. Abolition of the inheritance tax, fair appraisal of rent, the return of property to common use and ownership. Bavaria isn't Swabia, but their complaints are just as valid for the peasants of Tassing. And Swabia is a former duchy in the southern Holy Roman Empire. It was reformed as the Swabian Circle in 1512. It borders Bavaria to the west, the Swiss Confederacy to the south, and Austria to the southeast. Ah, so this is Otto's cause. He's caught your ear already, huh? The abbot has been squeezing the peasants for years. Now he's squeezing the townsfolk, and we are pushing back. Their cause is righteous, Andreas. If you haven't seen the Gärtners lately, you should visit them. And Otto had you print these? Yes, why? Well, I didn't think he could read. He can't, but just about everyone else in town can. He speaks, I print. Just trying to do my part, I suppose. I'm sorry. I'm still not in the mood for this late reunion. Come back for dinner tomorrow. You should go to the Commons. Hear what Otto has to say. It's worth hearing. Understand until later, close. Until then. What? Why did we skip sext? Huh. Oh, that's horrible. Everybody's closed. Oh. So many people. Everyone, listen. We all know why we're here. Nothing I'm going to say will be a surprise. Nothing I'm going to say hasn't already been spoken behind closed doors, whispered to your neighbors. Nothing I'm going to say is untruthful, so it's time we started saying it openly. Year after year, the Abbey has found new ways to tax the peasants. Piece by piece, the Abbey has taken away our rights to use God's forest to support our families. Law after law gets heaped upon us, restrictions on how we can pay rent. Limits on where we can move, who we can wed. And now the death tax, which once claimed only our best animal and garment, takes half our estate. No consideration for widows, no consideration for children. What about the town council, the Rathaus? A community hall where people meet, typically a council that governs day-to-day affairs under the authority of a lord. Surely that is a sign that the abbot wishes to share his power, to listen to our grievances. You have a good heart, Ulrich. You always want to see the best in people. But no. The council is a way for the abbot to divide us, to pit a favored few against the many. This is not charity. No, only greed and desperation drives Father Gernot. You would think that if the abbot could, he'd steal a dead man's soul from heaven itself. And when we protested, what did Father Gernot do? He locked the shrine of St. Moritz. He won't allow the people of his town, the farmers of this land, to pray before the relic. Now, when we most need the intercession of our saint, the abbot has shut us out. Father Gernot's actions aren't just. They aren't Christian. We've endured this abuse for too long. It's time we let the abbot know we won't take it anymore. Too right! Hear, hear. Yes! This has to stop. Let's fix this. Stop! This is foolish. Soldiers are already patrolling nearby towns. If you push against the abbey, you'll incur the Duke's wrath. You could get the town razed and everyone killed. Hannah's right. The Duke is a powerful force in Bavaria. You're playing a dangerous game, Otto. You lot are no match for trained soldiers. If you don't relent, you'll be ground into dust like the Swabian peasants. We could always grind up you instead, Leonard. I don't know about this. I have to look out for. We must stand for what's right. God's on our side. And so on. Don't be shy. Speak up if you have cause. We won't be overrun. The peasants of Salzburg were able to take the city and have their cause heard. If the people can get the Archbishop of Salzburg to listen to them, then we can do the same with the abbot. Master Andreas, do you think my family in Salzburg is alright? I mean, we don't know, do we? Alright. Enough is enough. We can't stand by while the abbot continues treating us poorly. People all over Swabia are taking back their God-given rights. Why shouldn't we do the same? A righteous cause. Martin's right. We deserve better. We can do this. Well spoken, Martin. Everyone ought to consider what he said. Martin has proved dependable these last few years. But if the words of men can't persuade you, perhaps a sign from a greater power will. The abbot might have locked us out of our saint's shrine, but God has shown me that he is with us. I think that's all I should say for now. Thank you all for coming. Good day, Andreas. Clara, it's been too long. It's lovely to see you again. Hello, Andreas. I'm surprised to see you after your long absence from Tessing. At this rate, we thought we'd never see you again. What can I say? I miss the Alpine air. And the people, of course. How could you not? We're in the middle of a strange season. Ah, you found the gardeners. Your speech was very rousing, Otto. I swear they get better each time. I mean, the Duke will catch word of an uprising. Are you looking for trouble, Otto? I don't know. I mean, he wants the Duke to know, right? Otherwise, nothing will change. Of course not. But I understand what might happen if the abbot doesn't listen to reason. Even so, the people here can't go on like this. Something has to change. I mean, that's right. I'm just concerned for what might happen here, that's all. It's appreciated, but we know the risks. Otto, did you really see a sign from God? Is that true? Everything's blue. So, understood why many people hate the abbot, suggested someone should do something about unjust laws, stood your ground when Matthew approached the grave, said you didn't care if Matthew told the abbot about the dig. Yeah, that's all from the first chapter. It is, Andreas, I swear. Come, talk to me later. I'll tell you what I can, alright? Anyway, Andreas, you and yours should come by the house for supper. We'd be delighted to have you. That sounds wonderful. We'll be there, Clara. Okay. Maybe we can look around a little bit. Oh, hello, Andres. Has he found a wife? Andreas, you're back in Tussing? Just for a few days, I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. Oh yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man. I talked to him sometimes on my breaks up at the Abbey. I'm surprised Prior Ferenc didn't give you an earful. Oh, didn't you hear? Ferenc isn't Prior anymore. Oh. Now, this isn't gossip, mind you, just honest truth. After the abbot found out about Ferenc's black arts, he removed the poor man from the position. Matthew's Prior now, still strict, but a bit quieter about it. Matthew has always struck me as quite pious. True, you wouldn't think piety could be uncommon in the Abbey, but with Father Gernot. Oh, are you in with the peasants, Andres? Well, of course. Gernot has been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore. How far are you going to take this? Well, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not leading the thing. But I trust in Otto, and the peasants do too. He's a good man. The whole town knows it, even Leonard, though he wouldn't admit it. Say, Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here and returned to Nuremberg, I take it you were married. Oh, I was? Sabine, she was waiting for me. I was married as a legal requirement for becoming a recognized master craftsman. We don't know anything about that. Ah, yes, of course. These obligations seldom reach a small town like ours. I imagine it would apply to me as well, if I got far enough. I hope the married life has treated you well. I still have not found anyone. I fear it's never going to happen. So it's not a happy marriage? I mean, otherwise he would be glad to return. Really? Not a single person has caught your eye? Well, when I was in Innsbruck a few years ago, I saw a real pretty girl at the market, selling painted pots. I think about her sometimes. Maybe more than is Christian. Hold on. You need to go back to Innsbruck and find that pretty girl. What? Really? Life is too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had, trust me. You seem to feel strongly about this, Andreas. But it sounds foolish. Juvenile, you might say. He's kind of right. Yeah, he has troubles. I may not have found true love, but that doesn't mean you can't. You're not happy with your life, Andreas? I want to know that. I'm not, but this isn't about me. It's about you. Well, if I ever have the chance to get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. Hehe. Just something to look forward to, after all. I thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. A pleasure. Until later, Andreas. Until then. Oh, man. Well, let's go to the Gärtner's. Oh, it's good to be back. Where's Il Peter? Let's have a glimpse to the bowers. Andreas Mahler, didn't expect to see you back in Tassing. You look like you've done well for yourself. Thanks, and how have you been? Things went well for a while after you left. Widow Kemperin lost her land and the abbot let us work it. My brother's heart gave out not long after, but then Martin came back to help work the land. Even so, it's been hard to keep up with the abbot's demands, the taxes and everything else. It sounds like a lot of people are upset with the abbot these days. They have good reason to be. I know you didn't get on well with the man either. Father Matthias never let things get this bad. Anyway, good to see you, Andreas, even if you're just passing through. Until later. Is the widow Kemperin dead? It still says widow Kemperin. We don't talk to Hedy. But Brigitta? Hello, Andreas. Hello, Brigitta. How are you? As well as anyone can be in Tassing right now. It looks like things are going well for you. Martin returned, after all. Yes, the winter without him was excruciating. Especially after what happened to Dad. I lost little Wolf, and Kat was worried that she'd lose the farm after Franz died. The baby died? But then Martin returned, and he's provided well for us ever since. Despite the tightening restrictions, we've gotten by. I'm thankful. I'm sorry to hear about Wolf. Thank you. I try not to think about it. Yeah. Kat wants to talk about him all the time, you know. Any night there's clear skies, she looks up and asks if I ever wonder how he's up there. That must be excruciating. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Andreas, I can't talk about this anymore. I'm sorry I brought him up. Was that a good idea? Why did you think she'd want to talk about her dead son? Were you trying to hurt her? Does it feel good to you, hurting the wounded? She brought it up, though. I was trying to be kind. Does she seem like she has been gifted with kindness? Nope. You wouldn't want someone to talk to you about it. That's why you don't mention it. Are you even listening to me? We say these things even though the reminding inflicts immense pain. We say these things because it's the only way through. Yeah, I actually know. Then say that. But will it make any difference? I'm sorry I brought him up, Brigitte. You didn't know, it's alright. It's been good to see you again, but I should be going. Until later. Until then. Oh. Oh no. She's not there anymore. Yeah, there's Martin. Let's talk to him. Andreas Mahler, good to see you again after all these years. Right, they weren't. But we don't need to bring that up. And you as well. What have you been up to? You look like you've done well for yourself. Art. I lived and worked in Poland for a few years. Ha! And people here think I'm well-traveled because I've been to Ulm. Though I supposed I have had a lot of adventures for a country boy. What happened to you anyway? Oh, right. You know, I stole some of the Baron's things. I didn't make it far with them. I tried to sell them in Walgau, and I got robbed. Serves me right, I guess. Luckily, they didn't find the coins I was carrying. The money carried me around Bavaria for another month and a half. Then I started stealing. I grew bigger and more confident over time and became a highwayman. You're lucky you didn't get killed. And that's what made me quit it in the end. I had a partner for the last year of my adventures. We tried to rob some Italians. We thought they were merchants traveling under the banner of St. George. He's a 2nd century Praetorian Guard and patron saint of England. He's most well known for his legendary victory against a dragon. Oh, right, yeah. But they were soldiers guarding money from the Bank of St. George in Genoa. Exactly. I learned that later. My partner didn't survive the encounter. I was wounded and alone in the wilderness. I thought of my father, my mother, Brigitte, and I realized I couldn't remember Wolf's face anymore. I had to come back and take up the responsibilities I had left behind. It's good that you did, for everyone's sake. You may be right. Mom and Brigitte couldn't run the farm after Dad died. Maybe it's for the best that he wasn't here when I got back. It's all in the past now. Just need to look forward. That was quite a speech you gave back at the Commons. He needs support. The townsfolk aren't as committed to opposing the abbot. They have less to gain and more to lose if the abbot chooses to get the Duke involved. Anyway, I have to get back to work. Good talking to you, Andreas. Alright, until later. Dang, he changed. Well, Hans. Let's get to the Gärtner's farm, but we will have supper in the next episode. I will end this one here. Thank you so much for watching it. Have a wonderful and adventurous day, and goodbye.